Hello everyone. I was going to post something on my stories and then I was going to make a post and then I just thought might as well just do a live and talk. Just a simple post or something would suffice, I guess. But hi, I just have a lot of thoughts. Like I mean, the last day and a half I've been just like, every chance I get, I'm just looking at my phone for, I don't even know why I'm looking at my phone. Like, obviously, it's just devastating in Southern California, and it is a place that I have been many times, and it's so sad. I mean, numerous friends of mine had to evacuate. Luckily, they're safe and everything. But, you know, and I don't know anyone, like, personally who lost their home, but I have friends of friends who did, and it's just like I'm just watching this stuff and I'm like, oh my god, like I can't even imagine. And there's so much to it that like obviously there's so much like obviously it's like hard for me to talk about because it's just so sad. It's so sad. And I know that there are devastations and tragedies like this all over the world that happen every day, you know, and some of it's highlighted in the media, just like the California fires. Some of it is not, and we are just so not aware of it. And I do believe that social media is a great tool to, like, we didn't have this 20 years ago, you know? I mean, Facebook started, we had MySpace beforehand, but Facebook started in 2005, I believe. I was in college when it first started, 2004, 2005, and then obviously it's just, you know, grown since then, and I don't even watch the news. Like, I keep my head pretty... And maybe it's, you know, part ignorant of me to not watch the news, but like my parents watch the news every night. And I don't know, the anxiety, the fear that comes from that, I just don't think it's healthy. I don't think it's healthy for anyone's mind. But granted, we do need to see things like this so that we as a community, a human race, can help these people, can help people all over the place. So I try to use my platform for good. I try to use my platform for sharing things so that not to instill fear or anxiety in you, but to show you something that is happening so that you can turn around and have conversations about it with your friends, with your family. Additionally, look into it, right? Like, there's probably people that, you know, maybe you saw me sharing the fire, you know, content and were like, I had no idea, right? And I shared something the other day too. This woman, Brittany Faith Turner, she was on my podcast recently, a few weeks ago, and Brittany is like a philanthropist, like no other. She is fabulous. Please go look her up, Brittany Faith Turner. I think her Instagram, maybe that or Brittany.Turner. Regardless, go listen to my podcast episode. She is absolutely fabulous of a human. And I shared something the other night on my social media, on my story, that, you know, she's doing like mission work right now, just helping this very impoverished community. And, you know, they don't have like screens on their windows, and the children are getting numerous mosquito bites, and you know what is associated with mosquito bites, you know? So it's like you just don't see this stuff all the time unless people are obviously sharing about it, of course. Anyways, I don't know, I'm going on this like tangent, but I just want to I want to remind you that social media can be used as a tool for us to come together as a community and help one another. I think that's the biggest reason why we use social media. You know, if you are feeling anything but empowered, then I advise you, I encourage you to kind of take a look at yourself and if you feel like you're being activated or triggered by anything, or your mental health is not in a good place, you're feeling extremely anxious because you're on social media so much, you're watching Instagram stories. The thing is with anything in life, I mean, not just social media, but it's due to poor connection. It's really ticking me off. Anyways, our subconscious mind, let me explain this because this is going to blow your mind if you're not familiar with this stuff. But so we have a conscious mind and a subconscious mind in every cell of our body. Every cell of our body. It's not just our brain that has this. It's actually every cell has a conscious and a subconscious. Okay. So with that being said, the conscious mind, it only makes up about 5% of our thoughts. Our subconscious mind makes up 95% of our thoughts. So subconscious, aka unconscious, you are literally running on autopilot 95% of the time because 95% of your thoughts are actually controlling your behaviors. With that said, if you were to take a social media break for 2 days, 10 days, 30 days, I guarantee it that you would feel a lot more peace and a lot more calm because you're not consuming the content that your subconscious is turning into comparison. That's the biggest thing, comparing yourself to others or that you're not worthy. It's our subconscious, it just creates these stories and we're not aware of it. It's not like we're like, oh, I'm definitely jealous of that person. It's not about that. It's literally about it's unconscious. Your body holds, I don't know if y'all have ever read the book, The Body Keeps Score, but the body keeps score. So when you were 2 years old or 5 years old or 8 years old, you experienced certain things in life, and based on those certain experiences, and it may not have been a bad experience, it could honestly be people who are like perfectionists or overachievers. You are a perfectionist or an overachiever due to the fact that at some point in your life, usually in early childhood, you got praised for doing good things. And so as you became an adult, you've tied your worthiness to achievement, performing. And therefore you may have some perfectionism to you. Like, I know I never was a perfectionism, and there are certain things that I'm not. Like, not that like type A personality, but I have discovered over the last couple of years that I am such an overthinker, and I have done so much better, even literally doing the 30-day reels and workouts challenge recently in December. I just had to, I couldn't think about it. Like, I had to just post. And I mean, all the content that I created as far as the reels go, it felt so good. It felt so channeled. It was very soul aligned and from the heart. And this is too, of course. But it helped me kind of overcome that. And sometimes it takes a little while for you to do that. You just got to create a different habit. So that's what that was doing for me. And it was really magical. But your experiences just form things. So, your overachievement and stuff. So I was a perfectionist, and your worthiness is just tied to that. Like, sometimes we think that we're not enough, or that we don't actually do things in life because we think we're going to look stupid, or what are people going to think of us? And if you are, I was listening to Caitlin Bristow and Mel Robbins' podcast episode today, and just to, it was a really helpful reminder of this, but Caitlin was saying about how she just feels stupid, something that she wants to do. She was like, I don't know, like people will think I'm stupid, or think it's stupid what I want to do. And Mel was like, why would you give people so much of your power? Like, when you are giving your worth basically to other people, you are actually giving your power away. So anytime that you think outside, that you are not loving yourself, that you are not taking care of yourself, that you are not thinking that you are an incredible, worthy human being, you're giving your power away to other people. And so social media, the way that we just consume information, you could be creating the story, or your subconscious creates the story that you're not good enough based on the fact that you're not doing this stuff. You don't have these things. aren't an entrepreneur making $1 million a year or $1 million months or something like that. Like, you're not driving the nice luxury cars. You're not this, you're not that, you're not enough, you're not good enough. What's wrong with you? Those are the stories that perpetuate. And it's actually like your subconscious is just finding proof to back those stories from those experiences when those stories were first created and stored in your subconscious mind. And again, what did I say? Your every cell of your body has a mind. It's conscious and subconscious. So that's why they even say, like, you know, if you don't like your thighs or something, it's like you actually need to like speak love to your thighs, because your thighs actually have mind. Like, your cells of your body have a mind, but your body itself, like your gut, actually stores trauma. Your body stores trauma. So big T, little t, doesn't matter. Those little mini t traumas is that you got a B on a test in 8th grade and your parents were like, what happened? Why didn't you get an A? And in your head, in your subconscious, unconscious mind, you were like, I guess I'm just not that smart enough. I guess I'm not that good enough. I'm not enough. And so it's all tied to your worthiness. Anyways, looping this back around to what I originally was talking about, social media, you have to like decide how you use social media. Like I said, I don't watch the news because I decide I don't want that. I don't want to hear about the local news where someone was, you know, shot at the Kmart. We don't even have Kmarts here. Walmart, you know, like, or, you know, there's just not enough good on the news for me to want to watch it. Like, why? Like, I'm aware things happen. I'm not stupid. I wasn't born under a rock, you know? So it's like, I understand that these things happen. I understand there's so much violence and pain and hurt in the world. That's why, you know, recently on the podcast, I was like, hurt people, free people, free people. That is like the biggest motto. If you can take that with you for the rest of your life, please do. Hurt people, free people, free people. Hurt people. If you are hurting, if you talk shit about people, if you you're not nice to, you know, anybody. And I don't mean like, not like, you have to be aware of your behaviors, right? Like, so you may not think that you're being rude or unkind. So, but if you are just, you treat people poorly, you don't treat yourself kindly, that's what I'm saying. Like, hurt people. And when you are hurting, you hurt other people. You're going to be ugly to them. So do the inner work, love yourself, and then you can be more intentional with your time, your energy. You can be more intentional with your decisions and be like, that is not aligned for me. I don't want that. Just like I don't watch the news. Yes, I consume stuff on Instagram, of course, but I've done a lot of inner work. I've done a lot of mindset work. So I have the ability, for the most part, I'm not like totally, you know, I'm still a human, because I do get activated and I do get triggered by things, but I just use that as a tool to show me, wow, Kelly, like, why did that trigger you so much? And I just ask myself those questions so that I can actually start healing and applying love to those areas. And then I see things differently. It allows me to see things differently. I think that's why I live my life with a lot of gratitude too. And I feel like just social media, you just have to be very careful and intentional with how you use social media. So although I've been sharing a lot of stuff about the fires in Southern California, and it may be creating this thought that this world sucks and God, this country, they need to get their shit together and blah, 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 blah. Like, yes, and what can you do about it? Like, how can you be a better human? What is this showing you? What am I trying to teach you when I share these things with you? Whether it's me talking or, you know, the news, right? Like, what are these things trying to show you? Like, yeah, of course, we have very big epidemic problems in this world, in this country, in this state, things that could be better. But how are you going to use it to elevate you, elevate your life? You can only control certain things. And how can you use it as a tool? So I hope that by me sharing stuff about the fires, my friend Brittany, her mission trip work, it's just highlighting things that you can educate yourself on and maybe do some research and see maybe how you can be involved. And even if your involvement is just starting to journal because it makes you more aware of your behaviors and you start healing parts of you, and then you're actually raising the vibration and the frequency of this world because you are actually applying more love to yourself. It really does work. It's all about energy. Everything is about energy. Not to be all woo-woo, but like, it's just the fact. It's like science. So anyways, I think that's all I wanted to say. I knew I wouldn't be able to say all of that in an Instagram story or in a reel. So, but yeah, just do what you can to help the people in Southern California. If you obviously know of other people hurting in other parts of the world, do what you can to help there too, right? But I encourage you to just do the inner work, become a better human yourself so that you're not hurting people. And just be very intentional about social media and what you decide to see and what you, even when you consume. I mean, y'all, I scroll the gram all the time. I really do. I scram the roll too much probably. And I'm like, oh my God, I could have like done so many house chores in this amount of time that I was just sitting there scrolling for 30 minutes. So I have to remind myself too, and I get anxious. So I'm sharing this with you because I do it. But yeah, Sassy, I agree. I have a lot of great goals this year. I love that. I love that you have a lot of great goals. Yeah. And we have to be really intentional with that. Decide, make decisions. You really, I was listening to this like, podcast, I guess this morning on YouTube. It was a YouTube video. And this guy was just saying, how you can like quantify time basically. Like everyone has 24 hours in a day. Everyone has the same 24 hours in a day, but you decide how to use that time. So yes, I could say that I don't have time to put the mess away that's on my kitchen counter or my dining room table right now. But literally it would probably take me 4 minutes to put it away. But I'm doing a live and I'm talking to y'all. So I felt like this was important and I really wanted to speak my mind and share my perspective on things. And, take it or leave it. You don't have to agree. I have a lot of opinions on a lot of things. But yeah, anyways, you just have to be very intentional. So make decisions based on like who you want to become, the type of life that you want to live and lead. And just start being more intentional with your life, because those little habits that you start creating, those actions that are aligning you with your higher self and the person that you really want to become and the life that you want to live and lead, it's probably not the behaviors that you're currently doing, because you have to ask yourself, ooh, I love that. You have to ask yourself, is the life that I'm living right now actually totally radically fulfilling me? If it's not, then you just start making take one action step and do another, do little things that are going to empower you throughout the day, because that empowerment, like that makes you feel really good, right? It could be cleaning your closets out. That could be a very empowering thing. Or just cleaning your house altogether, cleaning your bathroom, knocking out your chores. But it really is, it's baby steps. I honestly have a lot of work to do, but I just felt called and I was like, I can't wait to talk about this. I just wanted to get on live. Lean into your feminine energy more. Yeah, absolutely. And we'll be talking about feminine energy and masculine energy on the podcast in a couple of weeks. I have a expert on the show, Stefandos. He's amazing. If you're not familiar with him, I've shared his stuff a couple times. He's been on the podcast before, but yeah, he's amazing. We do talk about the feminine and masculine energy. So stay tuned for that on the Chase Life with Kelly podcast. If you didn't know, I have a podcast. It was launched in 2021. So we have over 100, I think we're up to 143, 140 the podcast. That would be a really good idea to, bring Jessica back. She's gone through a lot since the show, and she's gone through so many life transitions. She's got married, she has a baby, she has that baby now. So cool. Sassy, thank you so much for saying that. I sometimes never know who's listening to my podcast because I don't hear from y'all as often. So I always love to hear from you. So definitely, we all have a lot to do, but you're making the steps towards them, Kelly. Great job, girl. Thank you. I really appreciate that. I love when people see me, and I hope that the things that the social media content that I put out there it inspires you, it motivates you, and if it ever triggers you or activates you, which it might start, like I may be sharing some things that might be like, I don't know, or it just may hit you in the feels, and I hope that you lean into that. And because any of us, when we get triggered or activated, again, that just means that we need to apply more love. We need to look at that. We need to be curious about it. Ask ourselves questions. Where is this coming from? Why do I feel this way? When did this start? Who made me feel this way first? Or why am I feeling this way? So it's just all about curiosity. Like, even when you are like dating yourself, it's about being curious, right? Your whole like self-love journey, you should be curious about yourself, just like you want someone to be curious about you when they're dating you, or even in your relationship. Like, if you are in a relationship or you are married and you are not curious about each other, I highly suggest you start asking each other questions, and not just like, how was your day, babe? Like, actually ask questions. Like, what was your favorite childhood book? What was your favorite childhood memory? What was your favorite memory of me? What is your favorite memory of me? Because everyone is growing. Like, although you may be in a relationship, or you may be married and you see each other all the time, it doesn't mean that you stop individually growing, you know? So if you're individually growing, then you need to be more curious with each other. And so you got to be more curious with yourself. If you want to attract someone that's going to be curious about you, you got to be curious about yourself too. And you got to be curious about them. Okay. I see you're a lovely woman. A lot of us look up to you. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Okay, transitioning a little bit. I really do appreciate that. But yeah, date yourself, be curious, all of that, and just apply love when you get triggered. It's like the best thing. Okay, I'm going to transition into another question. What do you snack on if you don't eat any processed foods? Okay, great question. I know it's like totally off topic from what we were talking about, but I know that you guys are always so interested and intrigued in what I eat. About that, because I feel like I was raised in a very different household with a different approach than the people that I grew up around. I mean, I was vegetarian for a long time, and that was like not heard of where I come from. So anyways, I've had some digestive issues over the years. I've seen like gastroenterologists and GI doctors and things for IBS and all this stuff. And like, going to the GI doctor, they're like, yeah, you may have IBS, just, don't eat foods that make your stomach bloated and blah, 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 and like broccoli and Brussels sprouts. But like, they're like, you can have some, but like, don't eat too much. And I'm like, it's such a pain in the ass to like, what? It's all about balance. Life is about balance. But anyways, to answer your question, so I literally eat, for the most part, I eat meals. I mean, like, I eat probably 3 large meals a day, if not even 4 meals a day. May have a snack in between. And my snack, what am I snacking on? That's what you're asking me. It literally might be a piece of chicken or a banana. Like, I literally eat a lot of fruits, veggies, protein. That could be animal protein or plant-based protein. I do have gluten sensitivities, and if you have been following my stories, well, I've only mentioned it one time, but I'm experiencing right now, like, well, y'all can't see it, but there's like irritation on my taste buds right now, and I'm like, oh my God. And I think it's coming from chicken, eggs, and maybe possibly dairy as well. This happened to me. I tried keto diet back in 2018, right before we filmed Love is Blind. I was doing keto. Oh my God, I should share about that. Anyways, I was doing keto back then, and I didn't enjoy it for like, I knew it was going to be like consistent, like just to limit so much food. But I eat more, just mostly low carb, which is great because like you could eat so many vegetables, so much fruit, and you can be satiated by that. So like, I don't need bread. I don't need pastas. I don't need chips and crackers and cookies and all of that. Again, that's processed foods. So those things just don't feel good for my body. I did have some rice today. I'm not really like a big grain person either, or like too much grains, But I did have some grains at lunch today because I was out to eat, and that was kind of like not an only option, but it was an option. And I was like, I'm really hungry. So I did have some, and I was fine. But I literally just eat whole foods, and I try to eat bigger meals that keep me satiated, that keep me full until my next meal. So I really don't snack a whole lot. It's funny because I go home to my parents' house, and they'll like at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, they'll pop open a snack or something. It could be, and my parents eat very well too. They are not on any prescription medication, and my dad just turned 70, and I think that speaks volumes to the lifestyle that I was raised on, because obviously for the last almost 41 years, they have been eating really well, very nutrient dense. My mom is just a health nut, if you want to say. Granted, I probably eat more disciplined than my parents do. However, that's who I learned it from. So they are not on any prescription medications. That is unheard of in today's society, because most people are on some prescription drug. Prescription drugs cause other issues. They just do. And that could be controversial, but that's my thing. Hold on. I was recently diagnosed with celiac disease, and it's such a challenge. Luckily, we're getting a Trader Joe's locally. Yeah, that's amazing. I'm sure, because I think celiacs and Crohn's, y'all like can't have like any trace, right? You can't have trace of wheat or gluten, I guess, which that would be hard. Like I always tell people, and not to like make a joke, but when I'm at a restaurant, they'll ask, are you, do you guys have any food allergies, whatever? And I'm like, well, I prefer gluten-free. And they're like, is it an allergy? I say, no, I'm not going to die. I'm just sensitive. It's a preference. I choose not to eat it, but I do have a sensitivity to it. I have an intolerance to it. So it's like an allergy. It's like a temporary allergy. I don't know, but it's bothered me for a long time. Anyways, I wake up after eating gluten. Honestly, I went on an elimination diet years ago in like 2014, 13 or 14. And I literally cut out gluten, dairy, soy, processed sugars, corn. Like all the allergen foods, I cut them out, except for alcohol, because I was drinking all the time. Not all the time, but I mean like socially drinking on the weekends. And I just couldn't cut that out. But I was like I messed up my gut though, because I like took out all these foods because I was trying to like see what was bothering me, but then I was drinking the alcohol and it was just counterproductive. Let's put it that way. So it kind of pretty much messed up my gut in a lot of ways. Oh, but yeah. So anyways, I'm just have gluten sensitivity. And if I eat any of those other foods, it doesn't make me feel that great either. I had some tortilla chips last night, like binge some tortilla chips and like the spinach artichoke dip. So there's dairy, and then there's the corn chips, and my tongue got activated because the salt was like so much, I think, and maybe the dairy too, because of like what's going on currently. I was like, oh, it sucks. Anyway, so I may have to like eat vegan or something for like a week or so and get this like balanced again. Ugh, and it's so annoying. I honestly might just turn this into a podcast episode. I know it's like so all over the place, but I feel like we've covered a lot. How do you not get burned out from starting to work more from your point of view? How do you not get burnt out from starting to work more? Wait, I don't understand this question. How do you not get burnt out from starting to work more from your point of view? From starting to work more from my point of view. I think that's what you're asking. Working more. Yeah, y'all, I work a lot. And it's always funny when I see my friends like joining, like actually like people that I see all the time. Throws me off. Okay, yeah, I'm going to answer this question and I'll go back to that one. How do I not get burnt out from starting to work more from my perspective? Okay, so with that, I do work a lot. I'm really intentional, like I was just saying, with my time and the choices that I make. Yes, there are times that I beat myself up because like I said, I might sit there and scroll on my Instagram for 30 minutes and I'm like, shit, I could have done like so much. Like right now, y'all, I actually do have a lot of work to do. I can do it tomorrow. I also have boundaries, and I'm like, okay, it's 6 o'clock here in Atlanta. Technically I'm done for the day. But I do have some stuff from my 9 to 5 that I want to catch up on. So I might, once we get done here, I might go ahead and like, just finish at least one of my tasks so I don't have as much to do tomorrow. Luckily, we have a snow day here tomorrow, so I won't, I don't have to like go out driving around, and I can do a lot of like emails and admin work tomorrow, so that'll be good. But I'm just very intentional. I time block. That is very helpful for you to time block. I think that being structured, having structure, or creating structure for yourself is going to save you a lot of unnecessary time, I guess. Like, again, we have the same 24 hours in a day, so just be very intentional and decide. Like, and also you have to go and be with yourself. You have to have you time every single day. So whether that's going to work out, going for a walk, going on 3 walks, if you're like, hey, I have a 10,000 step goal for this month or this year, every day I want to do 10,000 steps, create the time for that. Like, you have to decide, okay, it's going to take me 2 45-minute walks a day to hit 10,000 steps. Between, you do your other stuff. There's many of us that have multiple jobs. You know, maybe you do work a 9 to 5 and you have a side hustle. You work a 9 to 5 and you're running a business, you like a full on business, and you're pretty much working 2 full-time jobs. Like, I get it. You're going to get burnt out at some point. You need to figure out which one you want to do, though, because if you're working what feels like 2 full-time jobs, our nervous system just isn't prepared for that. So like, you got to figure out which one you really want to like lean all into, because where your energy goes, where your focus goes, your energy flows. So you got to figure out which one you want to actually do. So I'll just leave that at that. But yeah, just be intentional, have the boundaries, and figure out what you want in life. Like, where do you want to be? Who you want to be? Like, who do you want to be? What do you want to become? Like, what are you looking for? Like, what is your goal? What is your intention? What are you trying to achieve? And reverse engineer that. Okay, I want to become this, or I want to have this career. I want to launch this business. What is the strategy? What's the model that is going to get me there the fastest? And start doing that, and then start taking inspired actions. That may mean that you need to delegate tasks, that you need to hire out, that you need to trade, so that people can be helping you and supporting you as you grow in your career or business. Lots of things. Oh my God, I could go like on a tangent with that. Okay, so transitioning back into like food. Someone asked me, what is an easy weeknight meal you make that is quick? Y'all, all of my meals are less than 20 minutes. Seriously, they are less than 20 minutes. Okay. There may be like, I may prep some food while I'm cooking like lunch or dinner, I guess. I typically eat the same thing for lunch and dinner, and pretty much for breakfast too. Like, they're literally the same foods, unless breakfast is a little bit different because I may have a smoothie, like a protein smoothie. I may have that, and or I was doing like eggs and a little bit more protein. My nose is so itchy all of a sudden. Someone thinking about me is not what that means. Anyways, so I might do like eggs, sweet potatoes, and like sauteed vegetables. For lunch and dinner, I literally do the same thing, except for I'm doing like fish or chicken or steak or turkey, or like a plant-based protein, you know, like tempeh or tofu, with all of that. Literally, it doesn't take that long. So what I was saying, as far as maybe I'm cooking dinner, but you know, I'm meal prepping too. So I may throw like a few sweet potatoes in my toaster oven, put them on the actual conventional oven feature, and bake them in the conventional oven. So you don't have to heat up your whole oven for 3 sweet potatoes. Conventional oven, put them in, and then they'll be done in 30, 45 minutes, depending on their size. And then you have your potatoes for the next day, right? So that's what I do. Otherwise, yeah, like maybe if I get home from work a little bit, or I get done with work a little early, I'll go ahead and like throw the sweet potatoes in the conventional oven so that they're done for me for dinner. But those are literally the longest. That's what takes the longest is baking a sweet potato. So, but that's what I do. It's just on a pan. Usually I cook on my stovetop in a pan. I just like saute chicken. I guess it's called like pan frying, but I'm not like pan frying. I use avocado oil, sometimes extra virgin olive oil. I wouldn't use seed oils. No bueno. Not good for you. Not healthy. But yeah, that's pretty much, it's quick. It really is quick. It's not after you've cooked some things and now you're using them again, and you're just heating everything on the stovetop, and that's probably like a 5 to 10 minute heat up on your stove. It's really that simple. What is in literally everything? Makeup. Wheat is in literally everything. Makeup, shampoo, licorice, soy sauce, everything. Yeah, it is. They do make great gluten-free chips. They really do. The Siete brand is pretty good. We have another question. I love this. Y'all are so active on here right now. It feels good to just like, I know I've been like swishing my mouth out with salt water, but anyways, I'm like drooling too because it's... Okay, I'm in my 30s too, and single with no kids. I'm wondering if you get judged for that too. No, I don't feel like I get judged for it, or maybe I just don't care for people's opinions and perspectives, maybe. Like people, most of the time it's like my friends and family, like, are you dating anyone? Have you been dating? You know, they're very just curious, but it's never like, when are you gonna settle down, Kel? Like, people know what I mean, I'm very public, guys. Like, I'm on social media. People see, my family members see my stuff. People see my stuff. My clients see my things. I mean, like in my 9 to 5, like my clients, they see my social media. Like, people know I'm not slowing down, you know? I mean, like, they're not, I am here, you know? For the most part, I am, like, I don't know. I guess because I'm on social media so much, I know that it comes with judgment. So I just like kind of have started to remove myself from that, in the sense of like, people are always going to have their opinions, and like your friends, the people that are closest to you are going to judge you the most, for sure. But I don't know, but on the podcast today that I listened to, Mel Robbins and Caitlin, Mel wrote a book about let them. It was, her whole thing is about let them. Like, let them judge you. Like, that says nothing about you. And again, if you get triggered or activated by it, then you got to ask yourself, why is this bothering me so much? Is it rooted from a story when you were 13 that your dad said something and you're like, like, you have to just be curious about why it bothers you. So but just let them judge you, because that's their own shit. Like, that's their own stuff. That's not you. Like, you do the things that you want to do. You have one life to live, and you don't want to be 90. And I know it's super cliche to say this, but you do not want to be 90 years old and look back at your life and be like, I wish that I had done all of this stuff, but I let the opinion of others affect me. And I know we're talking about relationships and like having kids and all of that, but I just say that regardless, like, don't let people's opinions affect you. But yeah, I mean, I have reflected. I'm like, I'll be 40 in July this year. Holy moly. And I don't feel 40. Like, I don't even know what that means, but like, you know, when you're 20, 40 sounds old, right? Now I'm going to be 40 and I don't feel old. I feel like 90 is old, right? But like, I don't feel like I'm old. And I guess that maybe that's why I'm like, and I'm just like pursuing things, and I'm so grateful for what I'm doing, who I am, where I'm going, who I'm becoming, the opportunities that just keep falling into my lap. Because I keep showing up, and I'm just, I don't know. I'm me. And I just feel like the opinions of others just don't matter. Like, I don't know, like my desire to even have kids has decreased. I want them. I want children, at least one. But I desire more a life partner, a boyfriend, a husband. I want that more than anything. But also, and I thought to myself recently, I was like, if I never got that, like, is that okay? And I know it is. Like, I'm so grateful for everything, and I've been living this way for a long time. You know, I haven't technically had a boyfriend of like a long-term relationship in a long time. 10 years. Or maybe it was 11 years. I think actually we broke up in 2013. Maybe. So, but I don't know. I guess that's it. Like, I'm sure I get judged for it, but I just like don't let it bother me, more or less. I hope that answered your question. Sorry. It was a long-winded answer. Okay, let's see if there's any other questions. No, we're at the end. Okay. All right. Anyways, thank you all so much for joining. Definitely check out the podcast, Chase Life with Kelly podcast. You can stream it from wherever. Go subscribe. Go like follow the shows on Apple, Spotify, and go to my YouTube channel. It's Chase Life with Kelly on YouTube. Go subscribe to my channel. I produce actual video content. So if you like this, it's just going to be like this, like as if we're having this type of dialogue. minus me answering questions, I guess. But go check out my show. We release episodes every single Monday on the Chase Life with Kelly podcast, and you can watch the actual video on YouTube. And when I have guests on, it's even greater because then you get, you get a perspective from them as well, and you get important information from them and their expert advice and tips and all of that. So please go follow my show. Let's grow that thing. But I really, really appreciate it. Yes, I'll take one more question. But otherwise, so good. I really appreciate y'all. And again, my condolences go out to everyone in Southern California. The devastation is just unimaginable. I cannot imagine what these people are going through, and all that to say, I can't imagine what people all over the world experience when they're lit. Like, that's their life, is they don't know anything other than poverty and devastation, right? People just have to find the gratitude in things too. But yeah, my heart goes out to the people of Southern California, and again, use this as a tool. Yes, so yeah, go ahead and share Kirsten here, go ahead and share here, and I will answer it right now. Yes, that would be the best thing to do. If you have a question, I'll go ahead and answer now, because your question might be someone else's question. I think that is the most beautiful thing. I've held group coaching programs in the past, and I've been a part of a lot of group coaching, and literally whenever anyone asks a question, someone gets something from it. So it's really helpful for us to do that. So if you have a question for me, whether it's advice about something or you want to know just something about my life, ask it right now before we close out this little episode, this live. I think I'm going to do more of these because I really enjoy connecting with you guys. But yeah, thank you all so much for joining. I am going to... There it is. I'm doing social media content for a company, and she wanted me to post 4 times a day. Woo! And that she would pay me times amount each week, and now she is taking it upon herself. Oh, she's taking it. Oh, okay. Got it. That's a great question. I'm doing social media. This is for all you, anyone listening. This is a great question. I am doing social media content for a company, and she wanted me to post 4 times a day, and that she would pay me X amount each week, and now she's taking it upon herself. If there's no agreement or contract, sadly, I don't know what to say, except for, okay, you wrote additionally not letting me post, and it's making it 10 times harder, and she's doing it herself. It's making it 10 times harder for you, or to grow her business, or she's doing it herself. Maybe just ask her, you asked me to do this. Is there a reason why I'm not getting the opportunity to do this? Just have that conversation with her. And if she's like, oh, I'll just do it myself, then say, okay, well, we did discuss this. Is that no longer on the table? Because if it is on the table still, then let me do it. And trust me, there's a lot of people out there in this world that are controlling. A lot of people. The biggest thing about women is that we're very much control freaks. In my opinion, we like to control things. Think about any situation, particularly with dating and relationships. We like to hold on. We don't like to let go. We like to control the narrative because we see so much potential in the person. So if we can control, we can fix, we can repair, we can take things into our own hands, and then they will be this human that we want them to be because we see so much potential in them. But in the end, the reality is they are who they are. And you just have to let go, surrender, and back up, right? And let them be. And you focus on you. So that could be, there's a lot of entrepreneurial women who have a lot of control. They're very much in their masculine energy. That is deeply rooted. Also, this controlling stuff is pretty deeply rooted. So I would just highly suggest having a conversation with her. And if she says, no, I got it, then just hands off. Say, okay, how else, maybe, you we talked about money. So is there something else that I can help with where we can, continue with that agreement? Okay, one more question. I have one more question too. How many dates in with a guy you like is okay for intimacy? Such a controversial question or response, I guess, because I don't know. I mean, I think you just have to feel really emotionally safe with the person. I know that in the past, I probably too soon, I allowed myself to be intimate with the person, and then they, didn't commit or they didn't show up, and that hurt. That rejection really hurts. So I feel like when you feel like you feel safe with the person, that they are not going to leave you, or you just have such an open dialogue with this person. You have such good open communication that you can talk about these things. Like, you can even ask the person that you're dating, right? Like, hey, like, what are your intentions? What are your intentions with this? Like, are you looking for a commitment? I really highly actually suggest that you do this. Ask them what their intentions are. Are you looking for a relationship right now? Please be honest with me, because I do not want to waste your time, and I do not want you to waste my time. And that will usually do something. I know I say a lot, sorry. But yeah, that'll usually do something. Be very forthright, forthcoming. Just be very direct. What are your intentions with us? And you should be able to get your answer. I mean, yeah, some people just say things to, get what they want, of course. But you will feel it. I feel like in your gut, that's, your intuition, you will feel, because you'll probably feel a little bit of red flags if someone is trying to manipulate you into intimacy and then ghost you or whatever. So I just feel like that is the best thing. Ask them for what their intentions are. And I don't think any time is too soon. I know many people that, may have been intimate with a person the first night that they met, and they're married now. So it's just a very up in the air response, more or less. But I just feel like asking what the intention is, and does it make you feel safe emotionally, physically, obviously too. But yeah, so I hope that answered your question. I am so grateful for all of you. Again, please do what you can for the people in Southern California. Let's just raise the conscious collective and do your own healing work, so that you create more of a higher vibration in this world. And if anything, that's what you can do, and connect with God and pray. And if you can't monetarily support or donate to anyone going through a difficult time right now, just do that. But anyways, thank you guys so much, and have a great night. Bye.